Fulham 2, Chelsea 3. Aha, you're onside with me, Joshua. Hello, tonight. Matcha is see what Craven Cottage London abontin so you be home come see because Chelsea Football Club omo to quite see we at the Craven Cottage kunya 3 points, 3 goals. But Fulham for no and I think those are where the talking points are going to be for every Chelsea fan or share some match by a bidding common or on-site sports analysis with me, Joshua Hollow to buy. Before we start the analysis, guys, if you have just tuned in, say na we me video no so and I say afe na we me video now. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for watching this analysis. Before we go into the details, I urge you to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the post notifications. Bell notification icon all mia so debia me drop a video, you'll be one of the first people to receive it. Near the football no home come on be match previews, breakdown, reviews, tactics, you home come on be transfer stories, everything is here, you home come on. But guys, let's go straight into the analysis because Ubia or Chelsea match Nibia would have some positives and some negatives as well. Let's start with the positives because I think that is the most important. 30 seconds on the clock. The number 9 has arrived. Joao Pedro has announced himself on the Premier League scene again with his new number 9. Now, I think today, what I can tell you for a fact is that number 9 case is broken. I said a couple of days ago, we said Joao Pedro was going to light up the Premier League with the number 9 jersey. And then 30 seconds on the clock, 1 minute crown so yet. And we saw that electric goal. He just lobbed the ball over the goalkeeper. And that was a very clean goal. I thought that alone is going to give the player a lot of confidence, especially playing crying, and I wouldn't be surprised in the next few games we're going to see Joao Pedro continue this goal scoring form. What shots here for Chelsea Football Club? Also some stand-up performances for Abranti friend Morgan Rogers. 117 million pounds living up to the expectation, showing us what he's made up of. Maxence Lacroix, look at that assist, after damming that player in the defense, playing that pass, super assist and brilliant goal from our brand friend Morgan Rogers. Cole Palmer, and then he showed us again. He said he's the number 10. He's the player who, when all the odds are against him or when everything is being expected from him, so also the Chelsea Football Club on the field of play, he's that player you can resort to. He's that player you can count on, and he showed us today. Internet front training in our Esher goals. Joao Pedro got the first one. Then we saw Morgan Rogers get the second one. Then Cole Palmer, look at that third goal. Look at the angle. Just look at how he plays the ball at the back of the net. And I think these are very good things that Chelsea forward will look at and say, oh yes, we have a very good team in terms of the attack. We can compete this season. But we consider 2 goals. And the first one I want to talk about, Abranti friend Robert Sanchez. Look, I have always maintained that Chelsea needed a goalkeeper. Until when I heard Xabi Alonso say Chelsea didn't need a goalkeeper, I was like, is this guy really watching Robert Sanchez well? Because Robert Sanchez now in the last season once the same behavior, tija behavior, the same thing woye. And then ball tra line and he waited for the ball to cross the line before he decided and he considered the corner kick. I was wondering, now apparently can he have his concentration at a high level for once? Look at that goal we conceded from Joshua King. You have to have that awareness in the penalty box as a goalkeeper. Knowing well, say player, if it's about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 yards away from you, there's everything possible that he can do. Baby, there was every possibility to commit me across the ball. Then there was every possibility to commit me bonus direct. So as a goalkeeper, you need to be very aware. But at the point now, it's like he didn't know what to do. But we cannot compete if we have a goalkeeper like Robert Sanchez in the goalpost. I'm sorry. If I were Xabi Alonso, Chelsea for now could trigger 65 million euros release clause for Diogo Costa. Because we cannot continue like this with a brand friend Robert Sanchez. I'm sorry. That's the truth. And Ubia Chelsea fan Bia admits to the fact that look, today the only thing that really went against us was the goalkeeping. In terms of defense, I can understand. Maxence Lacroix even showed us, I said no. In terms of keeping defensive solidity, everybody say yen tracky and makani yen jibon in same. Everybody say defensive awareness. Minjina baby fakuna mi say player now over my pass over born direction. Me nyabon and I clear it. Maxence Lacroix. Be a champion more maybe positional awareness. Kakranka they didn't really give us a high performance. But of course, Fulham for nowhere at home. So they needed to do everything possible to prevent Chelsea from dominating the game, which is why at the end of the game, you saw the possession. Fulham in the latter stages, they dominated because they had to show something. And I'm very impressed with Abrante friend Gonzalo Garcia and Cesar Palacios. And I think, say, Abrante friend Alvaro Arbeloa, he did so well in bringing those two players onto the fray for Fulham because they're going to help the team to be very competitive this particular season. And I said it. Some show me table clubs, no Brentford, Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth, right? They are going to be very stubborn this particular season, not because of anything at all, but because of the mentality that their respective coaches are pumping to players now doing. And Fulham is not an exception because in an Ocean match now they did quite well, right? Except that Chelsea, I think in terms of the attack now, Chelsea is a bit sharp. But look, let's talk briefly about the outlook of the game because me sure first 11, I was wondering where Enzo Fernandez was or the bench, or free bench and a buy. And then I didn't understand why Romeo Lavia made those errors. Those tackles are already a yellow card now. No, this season, you yourself, you are an injury-prone player. So if you are looking at the game very well, and in those very early moments, you have to be making tackles of that nature. So when who could play win a yellow card, which means that you may not see the game through. We may have to be making certain changes in the game, which we perhaps didn't even plan for. Into Romeo Lavia, I was really surprised because I didn't expect him to behave that way. The same for Levi Colwill as well. Certain tackles being reckless. I was wondering, Chelsea they need to watch maybe Kakra. But I think primarily, if we are able to solve that goalkeeping department issue, Chelsea will instantly become competitive. Because overall, the game today, I think Chelsea did well. Yes, in terms of the first 11, perhaps that was what we could have presented. Joel Hato, still some immaturity here and there, right? So, I mean, I can concede, say, maybe we could have seen something better from him. But overall, I think the performance, that was what he could give us. And, yeah, that's what it is. But standout performances came from Chelsea in the front three. And like I've said, Joao Pedro has now given us everything to believe that, look, that number 9 case is over. After scoring 30 seconds on the clock, 30 seconds, 3-0. Inyambo 1 minute to put our ball at him, and I think that was a very good thing. It set the tone right for Chelsea Football Club to do so well in the game. But if Chelsea really want to compete this season, they cannot concede those kind of goals they conceded today. Even when you look at Abrante friend Gonzalo Garcia goal, now I was wondering, maybe Robert Sanchez could have done better in punching the ball far away. But he just punched the ball and the ball fell in front of Gonzalo Garcia and he just literally kicked the ball into the net. But what do you think? Let me know your comments about Chelsea game and the game of boy and how they performed. Did they perform to your expectation? What do you think about Joao Pedro? Has the number 9 case finally been lifted off Chelsea Football Club? But do you think on my consistent performances before we can come to that conclusion? Let me know. But you look at Malo Gusto and his performance, and I was not so impressed. And I think if there's anything at all, I really think in this particular season, maybe he's relying on experience at Branton or team member that. So he could have perhaps gone for Giovanni Kenda, but he came off the bench as well. Pep Chavarria and so free bench by. So you look at Chelsea Football Club in this particular season and you see that no, the bench is going to be a super weapon for the team. You are going to get a lot of good performances from Chelsea, especially in the second half, because we have a very good bench. But the thing is that we don't have so many players who can, you see, because if Ian said Chelsea starts with Cole Palmer, Joao Pedro, Morgan Rogers as the front three, and we want to make substitutions in the second half. Now they are branching to say Pedro Neto, Estavo, Giovanni Kenda, Pep Chavarria. Maybe we may not get so much from them because they are now still understanding how the Premier League works, especially the new guys. And I know Pedro Neto, Pedro Neto came on, and maybe why elementary. You think that Pedro Neto should be able to know how to go about it, but I think Chelsea team, Xabi Alonso still has a lot of work to do. I don't think it has to do with the quality of play. I think it has everything to do with the kind of opponents we face. Because when you face Fulham and you play like that with them, and looking at how they even came off, they were very dominant in certain times during the game. They played very quick passes. You could see they were also on the front foot, just as Chelsea was on the front foot for early parts of the first half. But even after the first goal, Chelsea found it kakra. So you'd expect that Chelsea Fono need to be able to keep up the momentum. If you are playing against a team that is all out, they go all out to try and dominate the game or send the game to you as well. Maybe you need to find a way to also match them, the intensity, but trying very much not to create certain situations and scenarios where you receive yellow cards. That's how you got a player like Levi Colwill, as well as Abrantia Efreno, Romeo Lavia getting those cards in there. But can we talk about Enzo Fernandez? Because I think at this point, Enzo Fernandez would have to leave Chelsea Football Club. Not because of the boos, but because I think mentally, the player didn't give a lot when he came off the bench. I don't know why he was started from the bench, because if you were looking for a midfield pairing, I don't think there was Romeo Lavia and Reece James, and ordinarily Xabi Alonso would have gone for. Because if Enzo Fernandez now or fit there, I didn't see why he didn't start. And then Marco Palestra wasn't available because no prep. Right? So we didn't get to see him play. And I was seriously thinking, and even Moise Caicedo as well. Moise Caicedo is not fit. And this should be the very first time that Matis and Moise Caicedo are fit to play for Chelsea Football Club in a very long time. Ever since he joined Chelsea, he has always been available. DBA or available. But then he couldn't play. I think it was due to a slight knock. So if that's the case, if you don't have Moise Caicedo, it doesn't make sense that Enzo Fernandez would be the one on the bench. So I really don't know in terms of the mentality of the player, in terms of what communication Xabi Alonso and the player are having. I don't know if there's something going on over there. But Oba Park in the second half, I didn't really see that determination and commitment from the player. Yeah, but I mean, all in all, I think Chelsea Fono gave a good account of themselves going away to Fulham on a ground that in the last few, times in Crofona Bono, they have been very dominant and they have shocked us. So I think Morgan Rogers had a standout performer. Cole Palmer, he had a very standout game. Joao Pedro as well. Jorel Hato had a very decent game, but I'm saying Qualadrino walk a crowd 1 or 2. But in terms of ball recovery, how to run at space and receive the ball, he did so well. He impressed me. I wouldn't lie. Malo Gusto is where the question is, and I think if Chelsea get the right price for the player, I think he needs to go. I honestly think he needs to go. This particular season, a season that we need to really get a lot of good performances from the whole team. And I don't know, but I think Malo Gusto, he still has 1 or 2 things he needs to perfect about his team. But we bought Chelsea for quite a long time, and if he's not able to give us that, then I think he just needs to move on. And I think that's what it is. Joshua Champong. Yes, 1 or 2 situations be or not AB and the situational awareness was in question kakra. But the back line overall today, I think, was a very good one, especially Maxence Lacroix, the influence that he gave us. Ebane says situational awareness, Ojina Baby Fakon, he's reading the game, he's able to intercept play. Look, super performance from Maxence Lacroix. I was super impressed with the performance, and I think he really did so well for Team My Friend at Chelsea Football Club, as well as Levi Colwill. Aside that yellow card, I think he was very solid, but he needs to improve. Biana, he's coming back from ACL, he's still warming up into his groove. It will take some time before he gets to his optimal peak. You bet spend on that performance. I think Reece James also had a very good game. He also got a yellow card in there. But Chelsea, I think they performed well, and there's more room for improvement, especially with Abrantia Efreno, Efreno, Xabi Alonso, and what he wants to do with this team. I think there's a lot of room for improvement. After what I saw today, the front 3 is not bad. In fact, they are on point. But in terms of defensive solidity, a lot of work needs to go there. ABR, when players like Reece James comes to the back and Joshua Champon goes to the bench, and even if we find the proper first 11 playing, ABR, we will not see this kind of performance, right? We will see something better. And Enzo Fernandez, at this point, I think he would have to go to Man City. It looks very sure that in the coming days before window, he will move to Man City. And Man City then I'm pretty sure they would have to submit 140 million pounds. Because when they start Sikanaba, you bet me at 65 million euros. Go and trigger Diego Costa and release him. No matter Chelsea. Go in post and help us, because Robert Sanchez will not help us. Na Sikana kano ABI a couple more phone ya copy Alex Scott be a cut team or whoever it is, say Fabian Rui, Martin Zubimendi, which are 2 players I really don't think some team will release them. Because this year, Arsenal want to be competitive. They will not release one of their standout midfielders from last season to Chelsea Football Club. Look at PSG. Fabian Rui will not leave. I don't think so. because he will leave PSG to come and play for a team at Ombo Europe. I doubt that that's going to happen, which means the only options we have to see an Air Alex Scott of Bournemouth, and I say Adam Horton of Team I Air Crystal Palace, which I think as we speak right now, no, Chelsea would reignite their interest in a brand friend Alex Scott more than Adam Horton, because Adam Horton, he's going for nothing less than £100 million as what Crystal Palace fund have already said on what count order that. So person being playing £100 million, bring it. But Bournemouth may accept something around 80 million if negotiations go well for Alex Scott. And I think if all things being equal, if Enzo Fernandez decides to so free Chelsea there, go for Alex Scott, bring him into the team, let him come and compete, let him come and give us some midfield solidity if Enzo Fernandez goes. And I think that would be the good thing for Chelsea Football Club. Guys, let me know what you think about any game. No? I think Chelsea can compete this season. Yeah. That is my conclusion because of the sharpness of the front three. Maybe they didn't really get so many clear-cut chances, but from what we have seen today, I think Chelsea forward can do better. And Joao Pedro, kudos to him. I think the number 9 case is broken. But let's see how the next games go, and then we can continue from there. Guys, this has been Onside with me, Joshua Olotum. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the post notifications. Maybe I'm dropping a video. You're one of the first people to receive it. And until I come your way again, I'll see you in the next one.